What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Kendric Series. My name is Kendric, and we're presenting you another replay as we go by here on HeroesHearth Warcraft 3. We're having a really special treat for you today. This time, we're having an Orc versus Human matchup here between two outstanding players. One of them being the upcoming challenger in the HeroesHearth Warcraft 3 Fight Night, known as Deathnote, playing under the ID of Zhuyuan here. Really cool to see him go up against one of the best orcs in the world. Also one of the most controversial orcs, you could say. Fly100% from China. We see him right here. Fly is known for two things. And that is losing a Blade Master, but also somehow making it work regardless. So, as oftentimes reckless as he is with his hero control, he still makes up for it with great fight control. Actually, his micro is very strong and always to be respected. And if only he had a more polished playstyle, I think it would be safe to say that he would be a true challenger for Focus and Lin to become one of the best orcs in the world, maybe even the best orc one day. But as it is, with all the weaknesses that he shows and continues to show, it is going to be one heated matchup here against Deathnote. We also have to talk about him here. Deathnote, a very strong player from Russia, practicing like a madman, you know, grinding those NatEase ladder matches like there was no tomorrow. I'm super excited to see him play in the fight night as well. Grubby and I actually both requested him so that he could test his might against Neutron, the reigning champion, also from Russia, by the way. So, yeah, we see a Farseer opening coming in from Fly. Lots of peons on the lumber to get an early tech, it seems. And Farseer on Amazonia is a really tricky thing to do. The map is not that big, and on smaller maps in general, the Farseer really unfolds a lot of value. Why? Because of efficient scouting by the Spirit Wolves. Strong harassment potential because of it. Goes for the Goblin Laboratory immediately, but decides to switch up his plans. There must have been something for him to say, you know what? We're actually not going to creep ourselves. We're going to go for a harass. And maybe he just realized that humans like to go for these aggressive openings with two creep spots at the same time. The Archmage needs to be careful. Should definitely pick up the Circlet of Nobility. He doesn't do so right now. Loses a lot of militias in the process. He's now surrounded by feral spirits, spirit wolves, and orc units. Is he going to get locked in? Is the Farseer actually going to notice that there's an item still? Yes, I think he will have seen it right now. He doesn't pick it up either. Hey, there's a free circlet, everybody. Anyone? No? Okay. Oh! Fly! No! It started off so well. It started off so well, you know, getting additional workers from the human and Deathnote. He lost so many workers, but ultimately was it worth it? Question mark. He's only got 2 peasants at the lumber line, 4, excuse me. He turned level 2 because of the additional experience that the Farseer provided. And the Farseer didn't use the TP, which is fine, because the level 1 hero, first of all, doesn't take long to respawn, and also doesn't really cost a lot of resources. But the extra experience might be a crippling factor. He decided not to creep by himself, Fly that is, and will now start off with a measly level 1 Farseer yet again, whereas Deathnote is so far ahead in that department right now, even grabs new militia to creep even more to go to level 3 as quickly as humanly possible. The Grunt, by the way, scouts exactly that, needs to be careful not to get surrounded. Probably tried to destroy the item maybe with an A-click. That's why Deathnote tried to surround the creep before it died. And here's the level 3, just on the spot. Movement speed, granted. Boots of speed online. This Archmage is going to be such a thorn in Fly's side right here, right now. And what can the Orc player do after such a blowback? Maybe a fast attack is in order, you know. Maybe some Wyverns, you know. There's hardly any anti-air available right now. The Great Hull almost developed into Tier 2. There's a pretty solid amount of Footmen too. Needs to be microed though. And now is there going to be one of those infamous burrow attacks. Level 2 Water Elementals. Some footies are still left. The Archmage here needs to be careful not to get locked in. The peons are being rallied into the burrows. Needs to be repaired ASAP. 2 Water Elementals, by the way. This one still has decent duration on it. Destroys one, and likely a second one. The Footman is about to die, but that's okay. Okay, no. With the Water Elemental gone, I think that's okay. Level 2 Farseer right now. Chain Lightning, additional Hero Burst if he wants to go that route. Almost gets surrounded, actually. Almost surrounded by his own Grunt. There's no shot, by the way. No. Oh, there is a Voodoo Launch. Okay, my mistake. Oh, cancels the healing. One more shot, but the Archmage is too low himself, isn't he? One fireball. Two fireballs. Oh my god, he bought the healing potion just in time to tier 2 in the shop, saving the Farseer and forcing the TP. Big win for Fly, albeit an expensive one. And there was a lot of time where no lumber could be harvested here because of the burrow defenses. But I think that was almost the equalizer. I wouldn't go as far and say that it was the equalizer, but at least in terms of experience, he's finally on the better track right now. And keep in mind, as strong as this attack was, as strong as the early game opener was for Deathnote, he's only now turning tier 2 and no expansion in sight. We have no blacksmith, so no rifleman transition. We're probably going to go straight into casters. Arcane Symptoms soon to be produced, very likely. See an Archmage Illusion scouting out the perimeter a little bit. And the TC now. The Torrent Chieftain level 2 is definitely in order. Needs to get that ASAP. Starts out with the Endurance Aura, by the way, for more movement speed. And now we might see another altercation happening here near the Kobolds. How much experience is needed? Those two probably won't suffice, or will they? I think they just might. And keep in mind that this Archmage has no protection available right now. No TP, no healing whatsoever. Has the movement speed boost, though. Does have the Boots of Speed. And here goes the level 2. We're going to see a Stomp, most likely. Because there's not really a large number of tier 1 for the human right now. So Shockwave wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. Still undecided, though, as to what the ETC wants to go for. Strong movement speed? Are we going to see a stun here? No. Fly's playing this patiently right now. Let's take a look at the Orc base. We see some Shamans coming through. Almost playing it Undead style, if you will. Or Night Elven style. Shamans coming through for additional Dispel against the Water Elementals, of course. Very useful. Mountain King has joined the battle now officially. Doesn't really have any mana. Doesn't really have any items yet. The boots are getting transferred onto the Mountain King, so he's better chase potential when it comes to catching up to someone. Job's done. And the human base, double Arcane Sentiment as expected. No rifles, straight up into casters, straight up into sorceresses, because the slow is once again the human's best ally against orcs. Do we have a speed scroll, by the way, on Fly's side of things? The Farseer scouting right now needs to be very careful. Very careful. One bolt to the face and a surround, it might be the TP. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a TP. He uses the wolves to counter surround. Very nicely done. So there was no full 360 available, but that's going to be another bolt, isn't it? He used the Scroll of Speed. I think he should have maybe just TP'd out instead. Yeah. Now he used 2 items. A little bit of lost value there. But you know what? The scouting information was still valuable. And now if Fly's spider senses, his creepjack senses are tingling, he probably knows what Deathnote is doing. This is very risky. Like, creeping near the last TP spot of your opponent is always risky, because that's probably going to be the first location where a good opponent is going to scout. TC level 3, stomping his way in, collapse all those human units. And there's a lightning shield onto the grunt. The militia are joining the fray as well to help out in that skirmish a little bit more. Huge counterstun, actually dropping the Stormbolt on almost makes it useless, though. The Farseer is down level 2. Mountain King. The human units, though, are still looking relatively good. Another stump coming through. The cow is angry and winning this fight all single-handedly, potentially. Out of mana, though, now. Needs to be very careful. The purges are so strong against the water elementals, by the way. Strong Sorceress Micro here coming in from Deathnote, though. Gets a Shaman for the good matcher, right? It's a heated battle. And there's a Stormbolt. There is a Stormbolt, ladies and gentlemen. The cow might fall. Double hero takedown for the human player. And now only units left. Takes the Sorceress out. That's a good retaliation blow here. But the Grunt is going to fall. Tries to go for the wall, Ellie. Very dangerous, though. There's no XP to be gained anyways. And the first Wyvern, the first Wind Rider, has joined the fray. Now, of course, actually being shown, which means Deathnote knows exactly what Fly is up to. He can basically launch countermeasures immediately. Drops a blacksmith. Drops a blacksmith, so he knows that rifles are in order. He even power builds it with 2 workers. Very nicely done. But the human player Deathnote is not done just yet. Has some Spellbreakers in the mix right now. Very good, by the way. With the upgrade, Spellbreakers can take over With the upgrade, Spellbreakers can take over the Spirit Wolves, which, especially in the higher levels, is going to be very potent. Tries to luck out those grunts. The Shaman's being so useful, though, against these water Ellies. But needs to be careful. A slowed Wind Rider is an ideal target. The Farseer comes out. Gets level 3 as a welcoming gift. Because of that last unit falling. But what are level 2 Direwolves going to do? What is Fly going to do against this human onslaught right now? When everything is slowed. When the Mountain King is still looking good in decent shape. Takes a grunt out. Oh my goodness, the humanity. Hero focus might be the one good thing to do for Fly. Speed scroll, purge. See ya, Archmage. See ya later, mother trucker. And now, what is left for the human to do? It's a constant bloodbath between the two, by the way. Heroes are falling left, right, and center. We have the Mountain King without juice. And what are you going to do? The Shamans are fighting valiantly with the Direwolves. Taking down unit after unit. This is by no means over yet. And the crits are actually, although they're mini crits, they're crits nonetheless. And over the course of time, they will damage those heroes quite severely. The Grunt almost getting body blocked by Pete the Peon. Saves it barely with a nice healing salve there. Every unit matters at this point for Fly. And when is the TC going to be back? When is the Moo Moo Cow going to join the fight once again? Nice healing there for Mountain King. Who's getting dangerously close to level 3, by the way. This wolf might be just it. No, not really enough. He can creep at pretty much anything, though. He can go for the Troll Berserkers, no problem whatsoever. But Fly is expecting it. He's expecting the weakened Mountain King to show himself somewhere. Is he gonna scout him, though? He assumes the Mountain King would be here, though, at the natural expansion. He's desperately scouting it. It's nighttime, though, guys. Reduced vision right now. They didn't see each other here. They passed each other by inches. And Fly is angry. He expected the human to be here somewhere. The human, on the other hand, Deathnote, might actually run into Fly unintentionally now. Mercenary camp clear. Robe of the Magi +6. Oh, baby. Additional mana, additional damage. That's exactly what the Farseer wants. He could even pass that on to the TC for more stomping, you know. Level 4, level 2 aura. This TC is no joke. The only thing he's kind of lacking is a protection measure. So either an invul, a healing pot, something that allows him to be standing in the battle more. And see, Robe of the Magi now on the cow. 435 mana max. Looking good. Ooh, the Ensnare goes in Direwolf. That was close. Takes one over, though. And this means, with a magical upgrade on the Spellbreakers, that summons are no longer a factor necessarily for the Orc player. Dispels the other summons, though, in the field. The Water Elementals. The Archmage. Dropping dangerously, though. Deathnote. No protection, no TP. He's going down, or is he? The Stomp dispels the Invis. And there we go. A wonderful takedown for the Chinese Orc. Once again, Fly, we mentioned his hero control, his fighting control, to be sometimes wonky, but here it is on point with another stomp. Stomps him to the ground and tries to go for unit after unit. The human army is suffering. The casters are not having a good time. But the units, a lot of them are still remaining. Tries to go for the MK right now. Only has a mana pot. No healing whatsoever. Collapse him in for the movement speed slow. The Stormbolt to the face. Can he do it with a turnaround? Oh my god. The body blocks and the level up. 4 versus 4. Strengths versus strength. It's absolute carnage right here between the two players. Not giving each other an inch. Nice and snare, though. A very versatile army right now for Fly. A little bit of CC. A little bit of utility right there. The dispels on the Shamans, by the way, absolutely immaculate right now. And what is left for Deathnote, for the human Fight Night player? He's going for some flying machines, of course, designed to take down the Wind Riders. Finds another Sorceress Man. Flies everywhere. He's looking into every direction of the map to eliminate humans on sight. And what a game that is, ladies and gentlemen. It started off so well for Deathnote, I feel, with Fly losing heroes early. Fly not really getting a lot of experience, but the experience is back and more. Right now, I think he can take that camp, sure. It's a little bit risky. Ensnares the Golem outside of his habitat. Very nice. Because of that pulling out, he does also not stun anything. It's a nice way to abuse the AI. lure them out, and then attack him in. So your heroes don't take damage. Okay, what's the item going to be here? Ooh, a bigger invul. That's a good one. That's exactly what the TC needed. Just like that level 5, by the way. So level 3 Stomp. Ladies and gentlemen, that is no joke. That's a long time of stunning, especially against units. Needs to be careful, though. There's a respectable army from Deathnote. Runs right into it. The flying machines are probably going to catch that Wind Rider. And it is Fly who needs to evacuate. No speed scroll, no TP. Just get the hell out of dodge here. And fight another day. The Raider falls, but that's okay. He died for the greater good. Another Raider is getting saved immediately. What is he going to buy here? Healing Scroll? Yes. A Healing Scroll is exactly what he needs. Scroll of Protections, of course, gets dispelled by the Priest with ease. So not really a factor against humans. Farseer back on track. Maybe a Mana Pot on the TC would be nice too. You know, sell that last Healing Self or use it. Sell the Circlet or the Ring. And then get himself a nice Mana Pot. Because I think Stomp is going to be the deciding factor in this game. If you stun the human units, especially the casters in the back for a long time, maybe with the MK, your units will have enough time to retaliate and strike back. More sorceresses though. Initiate Adept upgrade. I was going to say some upgrades for the casters would be nice. You know, the greater mana regen. Super important with the Brilliance Aura in the first place. Invisibility now being a factor, of course, too. Mountain King, he doesn't see where the Mountain King is. Shows himself right now, and that is a fight relatively spontaneously happening. Is the hero focus once again going to be the key to success? This time the Archmage, Deathnote has learned, has an Invul Potion, and is likely going to use it anytime soon. Level up here as well. Stomp after Stomp is hammering through, though. Is it going to be enough this time? The Flying Machines not really finding a target, but they're a nice distraction for the A moves, too, on some of those units. The Ensnare. The Lightning. Is it going to be enough? The Purge comes through. The TC. Oh, the last second save here with an Invul. Sorry, with an Invis. So good. But Stomp after Stomp is raining in. Now, out of juice, though. No more mana. That's why I would have loved to see a Mana Pot onto the TC. The Farseer is so close to dying, and down he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Deathnote is fighting to his last effort right now. The Archmage so close. The mana is being completely sapped from the ETC. The TC has no more mana available whatsoever. Almost about to drop here. Doesn't really have what it takes to combat the Mountain King at this point. Still has the Invul, though. Is he going to bait it? Is he going to bait it? All the way he waits until the last second. I'm not sure if Deathnote even checked the inventory. And that one is going to take a long time. He's getting some nice units there for his efforts. And actually, there were more Orc units left than I had anticipated. Scroll of Healing, though, keeps the Spellbreaker alive. Not for long. And down it goes. The TC, by the way, the Tauren Chieftain, is so close to level 6. And with Reincarnation, he basically can sacrifice himself for the greater good, only to come back again with more mana. So sometimes a tactical feat might actually be in order to guarantee a good course of the fight. But the slow, it is so big right now. These Orc units can't run away. Level 5 Mountain King. What are we going to see here? Are we going to see a level 3 Stormbolt? Yes, it is. Hero focus is in order. A last attempt from Deathnote to storm Fly's base, to storm in. Level 4, the Mountain King, by the way, has taken over the Archmage, who's gotten killed several times, who had to run away like a chicken every single time because he was the primary target of the Orc player. And Fly, what does he have? Doesn't buy a healing pot, doesn't buy a mana pot. Very dangerous life for the TC. Not a good location for him either, because he can't really reach through these gaps, through these choke points. And the human in a commanding lead right now, has the better position, has the stronger army, and right now, the stronger heroes too. The Sobi Mask, by the way, being such a dominant factor combined with the Brilliance Aura. It's going to be collapsed in storms for days. And only the TC needs a little bit of healing. Extra healing is so important. The healing self is trying its best. The Farseer is back too. The TC needs to be able to, or needs to be careful where he walks. One wrong move, one false step, and it's going to be GG. This is going to be the game-deciding moment, guys. Human attacks or Orc defense? Who's going to reign supreme here? More reinforcements trickling in, and all that time needs... Sorry, all that Fly needs is time. The question is, does he have it, though? Does he have it? Needs to actually pull the peons, I think, for this last engagement. Needs to pull some peons as additional distraction for the A moves and some front lining here, maybe. The TC has had enough. He's going in. He's near the shop. Could buy a healing pot. Buys a speed scroll. I think panic clicking and misclicking potentially. Can't even use a stop. Needs to run away now. Oh, it's another storm bolt. I think that might be the end of it. Oh, he's got the movement speed boost though. The boots of speed on the Mountain King gets body blocked by the spell breakers. Oh, that's sentry wards right there. Fly knows exactly where the invisible threat lurks in the shadows. But just because you see it doesn't mean you can prevent it. Oh my god, so close to a shop now. Needs a TP and TP's home to safety. What a game. Both players really trying their hardest to stay in this. Another grunt being taken out here though, unfortunately. But good vision established now for Fly. These sentry wards are worth their weight in gold. Oh boy. This TC though has an invul. Did buy an invul next to the TP. He has no healing though. Even though the healing cells, when you're a tanky boy, oh boy, it takes such a long time. If only he was level 6. If only he had reincarnation, that would be so huge. So maybe if he can snipe a couple of spellbreakers, a couple of units, a couple of casters in the back, maybe there is something left for Fly in this game. He can't use the Farseer, and that is the big weakness of that hero in this matchup. The longer the game goes, the more useless the hero becomes. It's a momentum-based hero. Want to snowball early, want to get these advantages as quickly as possible, but no Feral Spirits, no Direwolves, nothing. And the TC's getting focused, clapped to the center. Now locked in with a Water Elemental as 6 surround by Deathnote. The Mountain King in trouble though. Gets stunned once after. Oh, it's going to be so close. Both players are not brave enough to commit fully into it. Both players have stuns galore. The end snare is so huge. The Chain Lightning goes through level 6 for Fly. And with that reincarnation, he knows no bounds. He's unleashed. He's roaring his way to victory right now. Stuns again. Kills again. Oh my goodness, Fly. What an absolute beauty of a game. And down he goes, the human player that is. That one time when Deathnote got a little bit too greedy, dove a little bit too deep into the base of the Orc. That one time his Mountain King control was not immaculate. And Fly, being the steeled, seasoned veteran that he is, knowing exactly when he can go in, and then the level 6 reincarnation and the Torrent just charging in with a great stampede. Wonderful. I think this game really delivered and showed you guys the strengths and weaknesses of some of the aspects in this matchup. Farseer, yes. And quite funnily enough, the Farseer adding so much value with that Chain Lightning. I'm not sure if it was level 3 at the end. I think it might have been. If it wasn't level 5, it was a level 2. But if he turned level 5, it definitely was a level 3 Chain Lightning, because the Wolves, technically useless against the Spellbreakers. But what a nice game, guys. What an absolute wonderful game that we saw right here. Hope you enjoyed. Feel free to let me know what you thought of this game. And make sure to subscribe to this channel. There's more Warcraft 3 content up in the making. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.